In the summer of 1991, I took a Black history course, Black Catholic history, with Father Cyprian Davis. He was an African-American Benedictine scholar of the Archabbey of St. Meinrad. And the second chapter of his book was called A Church in Chains. And there I studied this. But I can tell you that when you study it in any academic setting, I internalized it, and then I put the book back on the shelf. Comes 2016. And we read this article in the New York Times, and there it is, the living descendants, whom others found, the Jesuits, we kept good records, but we never went into our records to make the connections. I often hear people say, one of the big challenges I hear is, well, why are we judging the past by the standards of today? But as Monique has already alluded to, this foundation didn't grow out of a 2016 sensibility. It grew out of an 1836 letter from the provincial of the Jesuits in Maryland to the superior general of the Jesuits in Rome. In 1836, and what I am about to say, I'm sorry, is very brutal and painful, but I have to say it because it's the truth. Monique's family had no human rights in 1836, but they did count in church law as property. And in order for the provincial to sell this property, these souls, he needed permission from Rome. And he petitioned the Superior General, Father John Philippe Rotin, whose initial response said, might it not be better to suffer financial ruin than to lose our souls? So you see, in the 19th century, they're struggling with the moral complexity of slaveholding in the church. And Rotin says, I will approve it under conditions. Educate the young, as she said, the first pillar of our foundation. Care for the elderly and infirmed as justice and charity demand, the second pillar. And then keep the families together. But the part of it that's most painful for me, and where I find my personal vocation, is that the Superior General told those Jesuits in Maryland, send with the enslaved a priest. We sent no one with them. So you look at where we are today. This is a moral response, not a legal response. It's a moral response that we hope would drive other organizations. And that's a hard thing when we grapple with the pain of the past, because there are many who say, what's it going to take for this to go away? And I say, what's it going to take for this truth to come out? There's immense joy in this work. It's difficult, can be frustrating, but we meet every day because we're doing the work of the foundation. We have as much laughter as we have tears. And we're growing closer as families and as brother and sister in the Lord. I think truth is the beginning, and I didn't say that I had to unlearn the truth. I had to go deeper. I had to really understand what we did and the impact that still lives on today.